next keynote speaker for the panel Reimagine Education in Kwara is Mr. Fela Bank-Olemoh. He is the Senior Special Assistant on Education Interventions to the President of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari. Thank you.
Please permit me to stand on the protocols that have already been established. I'm privileged, I'm excited to be here to share my thoughts with you on how we're going to reimagine education in Kwara State. This is Kwara. The population figures is what we could get for 2016. I'm sure it's more than that. That's the IGR of Kwara. That's the state budget. And like somebody referred to, it's exciting to see that Kwara is spending 25% of its budget on education. That's fantastic. But in the area of human capital development and education index, those are things that we need to improve in Kwara State. Now, we all know education is important, and we say it, but my question has always been, do we act it? We know that we can't change the narrative of our country, of our state, Kwara, without education playing a key part in that. So let's start here. Albert Einstein said something that provokes me. He said, you don't solve the problems you have thinking at the same level you created them. So if we're going to solve our education problems, it means that as a state, as a people, we must challenge the status quo. And I'm going to share with you personal opinion, one of the most successful education interventions I think we've ever done in this country, free education. It's not about whether you like it or not, it's the reality on ground, and the numbers to it. We all know the story. Prior to free education in Western region, there were only over 300,000 students in our schools, out of 1.1 million that could go to school. They said there were 96,000 children that their parents could afford to send them to school, but they couldn't because there were no school to send the children into. Female gender was highly marginalized. But let's look at the results. Number of primary schools in 1954, 3,500 plus. In 1958, over 6,000, 80% increase. Number of secondary schools in 1954, 68. By 58, 389, over 470% increase. Number of teacher centers, 63. By 58, 98, over 55% increase. Number of students in primary school in 1954, over 400,000. By 1958, over 1 million students. So the question is this: if we want to reimagine education in Kwara, we must do something that is big, that is bold, that is revolutionary. We can't solve the problems we have today the way we thought them. We have to do something totally different.